Madison, I'm assuming you're getting close to leaving work, right?
I actually just left the office building, and I'm riding the bus home at the moment. Is there something that you need from me?
I see. Will that bus be going by the 8th Street subway station?
Well, the last stop is actually 8th Street subway station.
Well then, you can ride that bus all the way there this time.
And why should I do that? I don't plan on going shopping or anything today either. I just wanted to get home so that I could have some downtime before having to cook dinner.
Well, I want you to go to the department store for me, so you'll have to take a little detour, okay?
The department store?
A brand of purse that I'm really into just released a brand new style. I can't stop thinking about it and have been looking at pictures online of it all day long.
Okay.
So, I'd like you to go there and pick one up for me.
And how much is that new purse going to be?
I think around $1,300 or so.
$1,300? I'm going to assume that after I get home, you'll repay me for this, right?
Excuse me, are you saying you want to take your husband's parents' money from them? You are one awfully greedy woman.
But $1,300 for a purse is no small amount. If it was just for groceries or something you need, I wouldn't mind paying, but for a purse? Can you at least wait a little while until your birthday or Christmas to get it?
All I'm saying is that I want it now. That should be enough for you to go and buy it for me.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't just have $1,300 laying around for me to spend on that, so no.
Excuse me. Well, why don't you go to the bank and get a loan for it then? Or maybe just use one of your credit cards for it and you can pay it off at a later date.
I will lose the ability to buy food and things for me and my husband. But is that really what you want?
Huh? How does that have anything to do with my purse?
Well, I'm starting to get the hang of what's been happening. Just a bit ago, Mom and her son seemed to be at the front of my house. They came right into my house with all these boxes saying that they were going to be moving in with me, and made quite the mess for me. Right now, I'm with my husband, and we are discussing everything that just happened. Madison, that man, he looks a lot like the man that's been stalking me for a while now. Actually, I think he is that man.
For crying out loud.
So, why do you want to know something about this happening to me?
Well, I think that man that's been stalking you is my husband. And he was most likely there with his mom.
What?
Was it a man that had a pretty lean body and looked in his 30s with a much older woman who was even more thin and looked within her late 60s? I'm sure it also seemed like the mom was in control of the situation and had him on a leash the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I saw. And actually, the man seemed to stand behind and let his mom do the talking. I guess that really must be your husband then.
I'm so sorry that my husband has stepped out of line and caused you this much trouble. It turns out that my husband thinks he is going to marry you, and that he's allowed to just move into that house with you.
What?
I wonder if he has you confused as some sort of person with a lot of money that lives alone in an estate like that. And his mom seems to think that a person like you would just marry him and let her spend all the money of yours that she'd like.
Now that you mention it, his mom did go right up to my husband and said that her son is going to marry his sister, and that she is there to watch it all happen. But my dad only has brothers, and so this all seemed really strange to both him and me.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but can you give me a little time to handle this? I want to have a chance to talk to my mother-in-law about this. Of course, if you can't manage giving me a little time, you're more than welcome to just call the police on them both. I don't really mind.
All right, I just hope you could get to the bottom of this.
Ashley, what the hell are you both doing at my friend's house? I'm talking about the woman that Drew plans to marry.
Oh my, so you do happen to know who she is?
She has been friends with me through both middle school and high school, and even now we still happen to go out every once in a while.
I see. So you really do have some deep connections to this fine woman. But could this just be you acting like she's your friend when she really has no idea who you are?
The only people that she doesn't know a thing about are you and your son.
Huh? What do you mean, Madison?
That woman is not the single owner of that house. Both her and her husband own it, and he's the one that bought it for them.
What?
Right now, the man that you've been thinking of as her brother is actually her husband that she's been with for a while now.
She's already married to someone?
Yes. I have been hearing stories from her for a while now about someone stalking her when she goes out or has the curtains in the house open. And then when he told me that the location of this estate was in a very high-end suburb and the house resided in the center of it with a very modern design, I knew exactly who you were talking about. And that's when I immediately started talking to her about you both. She told me that a mom and her son barged into their house, creating a whole scene saying that they'd be moving in with her.
Wait, does that mean that Drew has been the stalker?
That's what it seems like. And I think Drew misunderstood the fact that she is indeed already married to another man.
You're lying. My son has no reason to have done any of that.
For the time being, can you and Drew just get that truck out of their driveway and leave their property? If you don't and continue to be inside their house, they will have no choice but to call the police and have the both of you arrested for this.
Arrested? Drew and I? Madison! What the heck do you think you're doing? Where have you run off to? We both came right back to the house like you asked, and you are nowhere to be found in here. What do you think you're doing?
I have no plans on ever coming back to that house ever again.
Huh?
I took all my things and got them moved into a small storage container for the time being. And tonight I'm going to be staying at a hotel where I can take things easy without having to see either of you.
What are you talking about?
I had actually been thinking about divorcing Drew for a little while now, so I've been moving my things into that storage container little by little. But when I found out what you both did, I took that time alone to act.
Do you know what you're saying? I'm not going to allow you to leave my son.
Whoa, wait. Wasn't it you that went out of your way to put those divorce papers on the living room table for me?
Well, my son's no longer going to be marrying a young and wealthy woman, so what I wanted before is all in the past now. Now you get your butt back over here.
Well, I've already handed in all the divorce paperwork to the city office.
Excuse me?
And also, there's no reason for me to worry about either of you guys anymore, so your permission isn't necessary.
What?
You've already given me more than enough reason to leave you guys, so why don't we just stop talking to each other now?
What have we done besides putting a piece of paper on a table for you?
Well, for starters, Drew has been stalking another woman for a while now. And now that you both acted on who he assumed would marry him and let you guys move in, causing a huge mess, I just can't deal with you both. Also, me leaving you both probably won't be the end of your guys' problem.
Uh-huh. What else do you have planned for me and Drew? Madison! Can you please get back in touch with Drew for me? Your friend has come after Drew for stalking her for a while now and plans to take him to court, and it's going to cost us a lot of money. And I had assumed that Drew had the money to deal with all of this, but he said he expected to become rich after marrying your friend. He had used up all his money while waiting to marry her and has been borrowing money for the past few months. He told me that all the money I used to get those bags and purses was all from the borrowed money he had. So, I need you now, more than ever. The money that you have saved up could really help us out of this situation. I'll forgive you for everything if you just get back with Drew and give us some of your money. Please, Madison! You have no reason to say no to us, right? Madison, can you at least give me an answer? Hello?
The following day, I was met with both that stalker Drew and his mom showing up at my office out of nowhere. Luckily, I wasn't there as I had already told my work about the events that were occurring. And so they allowed me to work remotely and told both Drew and his mom that I was not working there anymore and had changed offices. They continued trying to ask the woman at the front desk where the office was that I moved to, but she continued telling them that she couldn't give that information. Also, now that I'm back at my parents' house with my dad, who used to be in the police force himself, I really have nothing to worry about from those two. And that was the last of my relation to the stalker boy and his mommy. All I've heard about them now is that they ended up having to take out even more money in order to pay off the court hearing and settlement from my friend. And that put them in a really bad spot financially. And also, because Drew was now officially known as a stalker, the company he worked for found out and ended up firing him. Now, while the two of them work to pay back all the loans they took out, both end up fighting each other over whose fault all this really was.
Hey Brian, are you there? Just wanted to know if you finally found a job yet. I mean, it's been a whole year already. 1 whole year! I can't believe that you're really just going to content yourself with working from home. It's ridiculous. I know that your company filed for bankruptcy last year and that you managed to get a good chunk of change in your severance package, but still. What are we supposed to do when that money runs up, huh? You have to think about the future and find a real job.
Wow, Lois, you are really blowing up my phone today. And I don't understand why you're messaging me like this when we're both in the house right now.
I don't have to explain myself to you at all. Just hurry up and find a job already. How the heck are we supposed to survive if you're just going to be working from home? You need to go and apply for a real company with a building and go there. That's the only way we're going to make enough money to live.
Lois, I don't know how many times I've had to explain all this to you, but I already make more than enough for us to live comfortably with the job that I have right now. In fact, I'm glad that my old job fell apart because it allowed me to turn my side job into my main focus. And things are going really well for me, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. I mean, when was the last time that you checked our bank accounts?
Oh, please. I would hardly call what you're doing right now making enough for us to live comfortably. I am sick and tired of your excuses. I want you to find a job so that I can finally quit my part-time one and be a housewife full-time. You seriously need to wake up, face the facts, and start applying for jobs.
Lois, I really think there's some kind of miscommunication or something going on here. I mean, just how much would I have to make it for it to be enough for you?
I think that any man worth his spit should be making at least $100,000.
And just where did you pull that number from?
You are useless. I can't stand you. Do you know that? Do you want me to divorce you? Is that what's going on here?
Wait, what? Where did that come from all of a sudden?
Well, what other choice am I going to have if you don't go out and find a job? Why are you such a lazy little weakling, Brian? I know that you've always been a quiet, reserved person, but the fact is that we need money to survive. I know that you're sad about your last place of work shutting down, but this isn't the time to wallow in self-pity. You've got to learn how to deal with people and start getting job interviews. I've had enough of this working from home nonsense.
I really don't think that you know what you're talking about right now. Besides, plenty of people work from home and make more than enough for themselves.
That's just an excuse home workers like you tell themselves to try and feel better about their uselessness. But you need to wake up and realize that just making $30,000 a year is not going to cut it.
You think that I make $30,000 a year?
I don't think, I know. I've seen the bank accounts and that's how much was deposited in.
I see. That's why you think I need to go out and find a new job.
Are things finally starting to click in that little head of yours now? Well, it's too late. I've had it with you. We are getting a divorce and that is that. I'm going to go out and get the divorce papers soon. And since this apartment is being rented under my dad's name, I want you to pack your things and get out. You have until tomorrow, so you better start putting things in boxes now.
Okay then, if that's really what you want. But for the record, I make $300,000 a year, not $30,000.
Ha ha ha, in your dreams you do. Anyways, I've had enough of your lies and excuses. I mean it this time, Brian. You've messed around too much, and now it's time to face the consequences. Hey, have you already moved all of your things out?
Yep, I think I left the apartment with all my stuff around 6 in the morning. Thankfully, there were a few places looking for immediate tenants, and so I was able to find a new place to live right away.
Oh, really? Well, isn't that nice? And the divorce papers? Did you sign them like I asked you to?
I sure did. It should be all signed and ready to go. Just sit on the kitchen table.
I see. Well, everything seems to be in order here. I guess I'll get ready and then go to the courthouse to drop these off so that it's official.
Sure thing. Sounds good to me. Anyways, I'm working out of a cafe for now, so I'm gonna go.
Ha ha ha! You mean you're still doing the same job? That really is just sad. I'm happy that our marriage is over. I could never spend the rest of my life with someone who's too scared to even apply for a real job. Ha ha ha!
Hey, Elena. It's been a while since you last spoke, hasn't it? This is Brian, by the way.
Oh, Brian! It really has been a while, hasn't it? Is there something I can do for you?
Well, I'm very sorry to drop this news on you all of a sudden, but as of today, Lois and I are no longer husband and wife. We got a divorce.
Hold on a second. You and my daughter got a divorce?
That's right. I think Lois is probably dropping off the divorce papers right about now, if I had to guess.
But I don't understand. What happened? Don't tell me that Lois went off talking and acting without thinking again. Oh, it's all her father's fault. He spoiled her rotten growing up, and now that she's an adult, she still expects everything handed to her right away.
I'm really sorry to be bad-mouthing your daughter, but I think that's pretty spot on. Or rather, it's more like she just gets an idea of what is going on in her head and refuses to let it go, including about me. But I guess in her head, she reached her limits with me and decided she couldn't stand being with me anymore.
What do you mean? What kinds of things did she get in her head about you?
Well, she seems to think that I only make $30,000 a year through my job.
You're kidding me! Did she really say that?
That's right. She says that she was looking through our bank accounts and saw that that was how much I was paid.
Oh my. I just don't even know what to do with that girl anymore. But thank you so much for coming to me and telling me about this. I'll tell my husband, but he's away on a business trip overseas right now.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, we should talk about this in more detail soon, if that's all right with you. Again, I'm so sorry to come to you with this so suddenly, but we'll talk soon.
Hey, Brian, just what the heck is going on? I just got off the phone with my dad and he told me that you make $300,000 a year, not $30,000. What's the meaning of this? Why didn't you tell me any of this? How could you trick me into divorcing you like I did? If I knew that, I would never have left you.
Hey there, Lois. Hope the past couple of days have been treating you well.
Don't you pretend like you didn't read all those messages I just sent. You get your butt back to our house now and you sign our wedding papers.
You mean you want to be married to me again? That was fast.
I want to marry you because you tricked me into divorcing you. I have to put things back how they were now.
And you think I'm gonna go along with that?
Well, I only divorced you because I thought you were making so little money in the first place. But now that I know that you make 10 times that, I want you to come back and marry me again.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that.
But why not? What's wrong?
Let me ask you something, Lois. What is it that you think I do for a living?
Well, you work from home, right?
That's the smallest possible start there could be, I guess, but you're not technically wrong. Do you know anything at all about who I work for, what it is that I'm working on while I'm at home?
I don't know, work from home stuff?
Ugh, this is going nowhere fast. I actually write for a very popular blog and put the stock market on the side. Every now and then I'll help out with some copy editing from writer friends as well.
And you make $300,000 a year doing that?
That's right. I guess when you logged in to check our bank account, you must have missed a zero somewhere in your calculations.
I missed just a single zero.
Well, that zero made all the difference, really, didn't it?
But I had no idea that I made a mistake at all.
Yeah, that much is quite obvious to me.
But what happens now?
I tried to explain this to you before, but you just never listened to me. Although your dad has heard of me and knows that I'm a somewhat famous investor. Anyways, he hired me to help manage his stocks and has helped me make a lot of connections through him.
Wait, so then you work for my dad?
That's right. He was the one that introduced us in the first place, remember? I always wanted to marry you, ever since that day. But once we were married, you seemed to think that I was a weak pushover. Anyways, I've lived with you long enough to know that I don't want to do it again.
But wait, if we're divorced then, what's going to happen to you working for my dad?
I don't know. You'll probably have to take it up with him.
But this isn't fair. I had no idea. What if my dad forces you to get married to me again? I can make him do that.
I really don't think that you can, actually.
Just get back here and marry me right this second.
I already told you that this is not going to happen, and nothing is going to change my mind.
So you don't care at all what happens to my dad or his finances?
Well, he's not even my main source of income anymore. Besides, I've already found him a different investor who is ready to take over his accounts. Plus, I've shown these messages to your father, and he understands why I'm wanting to leave you.
Oh no, this is really bad though. My dad is going to be so mad at me. He might even disinherit me. Please, you have to get back together with me.
Sorry, I'm actually really busy trying to meet a bunch of deadlines, so if this is all you have to say, I think we're done here.
No, Brian, please don't go.
In the end, it was just as Lois feared, and she ended up being disinherited by her father for constantly acting so selfishly. He even threw out of the apartment he had paid for her to live in. Her father said that she would have to make her own way through life and only offered her help in the way of an entry-level job at the hotel chain that he owned. It seems that Lois is already in debt after having to get back on her feet, and that she spends every day changing sheets and leaving little chocolates on every guest's pillow. As for me, Lois's father and I parted on good terms. He tried to offer me a huge raise to keep me on, but money isn't everything, and I knew that I wanted a clean break from that family. Now, I'm focusing on my job in the publishing industry and really loving it.
Hey Hannah, are you there? I was just wondering if you were still thinking of coming home at your usual time. I was only wondering because I really don't want you to come around here.
Hey, Tina. Sorry, what is this about? It's the 3rd anniversary of Dad's death, so yeah, I was going to come home to pay my respects with you and Mom.
Yes, I'm well aware of what the date is, thank you very much. And I'm telling you that I don't want you to come back at all.
Okay, can I ask why you don't want me to come back home? Were you going to help Mom in my place?
What do you mean help Mom? What do you even do?
I mean how every year our aunts and uncles and cousins come over to help us remember Dad, and then we all go out for dinner. I always help Mom make the arrangements and reservations before we all meet up. So if I'm not going to be there, I'm asking if you're going to help Mom instead. Because I think Mom wanted to cook at home for this year, so she's going to need even more help than usual. Are you okay with that?
Hold on a second. That sounds like a big pain in the butt.
Right. Well, I'm already 30 minutes away from getting there, so just tell Mom that I've almost arrived, okay?
Seriously? Fine. Hey, Hannah, are you still here? Have you not gone back home yet?
What are you doing? We're in the same house. Why are you texting me? Just come and talk to me, Tina.
Just answer my question. Jeez. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, yeah. I was thinking of going home after I helped Mom clean around the house since everyone's gone home now.
Okay. Then I guess in that case, I'll head out and have some fun.
You mean that you're really not going to help Mom and I out with any of this at all?
I'm already out. I'm not even home, so how could I?
You mean that you snuck out while we were all clearing the table? Why do you always do this? Why do you always have to be so selfish? I've had enough out of you. You need to learn how to grow up. Tina, are you there? You are in serious trouble. Did you take that $200 from Mom's private stash she keeps under Dad's urn? You need to give that back to her right now.
Ugh, literally, what are you even talking about?
I am talking about the money that Mom keeps under Dad's urn for emergencies. I was polishing off his urn one more time, and when I picked it up, I saw that the money wasn't there. I asked Mom about it, and she said she hadn't moved the urn or touched the money at all today, so it must have been someone else who took it.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing if I have already been caught.
Well, you need to give that back to Mom right now!
What do you mean? Did you forget that I still live with Mom? What's hers is mine, and I would have ended up with it anyways.
But this is Mom's emergency money. She was going to use it to repay herself for hosting Dad's memorial service. That was never meant to be money for you to spend on yourself, Tina.
Well, it's a little bit late for that, because I've already used it all up.
Excuse me? You did what? Are you kidding me?
I'm serious, and I want you to stop coming around the house so often.
What are you talking about? Why don't you want me here that badly?
Because I know that money that you give Mom every month is money that you get from illegal dealings.
No, seriously. What are you even talking about? How did you even come up with that one?
Well, you work in a factory assembly line, so there's just no way you could afford to send Mom the $1,500 a month that you've been doing for so long now. I mean, you've been sending money to Mom for 10 years, but last year the amount jumped from $700 to $1,500. That means the amount more than doubled, which means you must be getting your money from somewhere illegal.
I have no idea how to even respond to something like that. And besides, I don't work at a factory, so I don't know where that came from either.
You mean you got fired and had to take an even lower paying job just to survive? Then you must be doing some seriously illegal stuff to afford the lifestyle that you have.
This is just getting ridiculous. Do you really think I'm only capable of getting low-paying jobs?
I mean, isn't that how it works for people who never graduated college and only graduated from high school?
You know that I was supposed to go to college. I was accepted and everything. But then Dad called the school and asked them to cancel my application with them.
Yeah. All I hear are excuses from a sore loser. You have got to be doing something illegal. I just know it. It's the only explanation.
You seriously just don't know when to stop, do you?
Well, we don't need your filthy money anymore.
You mean that you're really going to keep pushing me with this? Is this really a game that you want to play with me?
Ugh, there's no game. I'm just telling you the truth that I know about you. I mean, you moved out of the house 10 years ago. Just how often do you really need to visit us? Besides, it's just painful for someone with a college education like myself to have to deal with you for so often.
All right then. I guess I'll stop sending the money if you're so serious about this.
That will be fine by me. We still have plenty of money left over from when Dad died. So there.
So you're just planning on living off Dad's inheritance, huh? Well, we'll just see about that.
Hannah, are you there? You have to help me. I'm in serious trouble. I just went to check my balance in the bank and there's nothing there.
And just why are you coming to me about any of this?
Well, because I know that you used it all up for yourself.
I live more than an hour away from you and Mom. How could I have possibly broken into your bank account? I mean, how would I have even gotten a hold of your debit card in the first place? I think you just now realized for yourself that you don't actually have any money.
You must have hacked into the system and wired yourself all of my money or something like that. I know that I had money in there before, and now I don't, which means that someone had to have stolen it. There's no other explanation. So give me my money.
If anyone should be asking for their money back, it should be me, Tina.
What are you talking about? How are you the victim here?
I mean that you took the money that Dad left us, even the money he left for Mom, and spent it all on yourself. You used it all up within the first year after he died, didn't you?
What do you mean? Why are you saying this?
I'm saying it because you robbed Mom, even though she's a frail old lady who still does her best to keep her house running. And meanwhile, you do nothing to help her and leech off of her already rather small retirement money. That was the whole reason why I raised the amount of money I was sending Mom in the first place. She kept telling me how tight things were for her.
But I didn't know that that's why you did that.
But recently, I asked Mom for a breakdown of just how she was spending that money that I had been sending to her. She told me that every month when she gets the $1,500 from me, $1,200 of it goes to you, and she is only left with $300. So basically, you leave Mom with barely even enough money to take care of herself while you leech off of her.
No, that isn't true. That's not fair.
And after the memorial, Mom showed me some of the texts that you sent her where you demanded the money that I had just given her.
You're lying. I don't believe you. I'm going to go talk to Mom about this right now, and she'll say I'm right. Mom isn't at home right now. And I poked my head into her room, and all her stuff was gone too. What's going on here? Where did Mom go? Why is this happening?
It's okay. Mom is with me right now, actually.
She is? Really? But why?
Because she hates living with you, of course.
What are you talking about? Of course she doesn't.
She says that you make her do all the work around the house while you just hang out in your room or go out all day. Not only that, but you're always asking her for money that she doesn't have, and then you get mad at her when she doesn't have it. Mom has actually wanted to stop living with you for a while. She tried to be patient for your sake, but now she's had enough, and she finally came to me for help.
But I didn't even do anything bad. This isn't fair.
Of course you've done something bad here.
What do you mean? What did I even do?
You were always spoiled by Dad growing up, and you haven't changed since then. I mean, you've been out of school for years now, and you still don't even have a job. What is up with that? The least you could do is work part-time to help out with Mom.
But I hate work. It's so stupid.
Do you think people go to work because they like it?
You mean they don't?
Look, I had to step in, and I was the one that took Mom out of that house.
But how could you do something like that without even telling me about it?
Because we knew that you would throw a fit over it, like you're doing right now. And also, I'm selling the house.
Hold on. You're going to be doing what? But I live here! Where am I supposed to go? Do you even have the right to sell the house?